Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 194 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we're going to finish up with ammo and give it a try. Enjoy. So let's do a request depot, and you probably want another supply depot too, but I forget that these use a lot of resources, so out of resources already. But I guess more is on the way. For now, we can request the petroleum jelly and just the one drone. And then this needs to go up. I don't know, we could try to make it look a little cleaner than that. But I don't know if it really matters. It's not like anything's going to go in this spot right here. Awesome, well, it looks like it could take care of those shotgun shells too, so we've finally gotten through the cannons, and now it's going through the shotgun shells. Hey, looks like the jelly just arrived, which is good news. Let's see, we kind of need to combine with this one. And I guess switch the sides. Wonder if we can burn any of this stuff for fuel, which potentially could help. Well, not the cotton. Not the jelly, and not the cordite. Man, those machines are slow. It looks like the rate we're going to need these is fast enough for a red belt. But there it is. The cordite that we need. So we can do another supply depot here. Oh, that doesn't reach. What is this anyway? Oh, I think it's the ore from the, yeah, the science. So, it's mostly empty, except when it's not. Alright, well, it'll be a bit of a zigzag. But that'll get it through. Alright, well, the cordite can go down here. And we'll want another rider to only turn it on when there's a drone's worth. And we need 5 per second. I don't know how far away it's going to be, but let's say, yeah, 5 drones worth ought to be fine. So that's 3,000. And also a wire right here. 3,000. And there it goes. It will soon be available. Well, certainly knocking down the sodium nitrate. And I wonder how the glycerol liquid is going. See, that's kind of an interesting section to not be connected there. Well, I mean, we're using it, but it looks like we're probably still burning a little bit of it too, so let's see, an empty one, which perhaps means we did not request it fast enough. Let's just put 5 drones in there then. Of course, it's probably just not available either. 5 drones will be faster than 1. We have to slice all this into our new bus here, and oh yeah, I actually need to set this up properly, so it's all just kind of junk right now. Well, at least that was in there, so it didn't just go everywhere. Oh, we need copper. We need steel, and we need gunmetal. Well, at least the logic is set up to where all these are connected, so it doesn't really matter where the resources are as far as the station is concerned. It counts them all together. So that'll eventually get sorted through. So we got these new resources to bring in, as well as all of that cordite, which will come in from a drone, and actually that might be easier if it was from down here instead, because the road is closer. And there we go. We can request some of that cordite. And I was thinking we'd probably only need a few drones, but because it's kind of far away, probably should try to add a few more. No drone in depot. Ah, it was outdated. Let's see. It's kind of far away from fuel, but I guess there is one over here, so it's not the end of the world, and it looks like it already sent one, so that'd probably get here before I even built a different depot, so it's probably fine like this. So we're going to need to wait on that to deliver the resources that we need. But otherwise, we can start working on our system here. And let's see if there's any patterns. Well, we do have a 1-to-1 ratio as far as the bullets and the casings go. But I don't think it really matters because they don't go into each other. They go into the completed bullet, which only requires one machine. So it's probably going to be nothing too spectacular here. Just groups of 3 machines, as is typical. Well, actually, we could kind of do something kind of like this, where the casing... Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much, because the casing just comes from gunmetal. So it would be... you know, something like that. The input come up on one side, and the output would go on the other. It can be in the middle. So something like that. Then we can copy it, put it on the other side. But then this side can make the projectiles. And then that is where we have another assembling machine on the bottom. It'd be 2 actually. One making copper. I'll probably space this out by 1. And one making lead. So let's say the input goes there. Got one of these on each side, and we do have some flashing to get rid of here. So the 2 plates go in there. And then it outputs on that one. So that'll be the 2 resources it needs, and I see we have an error. Rubite. Is that referring to the old mine? Well, that one isn't too bad, but I guess that's what it is referring to. Do we not have an additional rubite mine somewhere? Stereotyte, Givelite, Sapphirite's down there. Bobmonium. Maybe not. Well, it is going to be 32 hours. But it is something we can take care of here. Because we now have access to the 3rd tier of Prospector. Which will give us access to the final 50% ore of any given patch, but it makes it take as long as possible to mine, so we have to be wary about scanning everything because it just makes it take longer. But to avoid having to build a new mine, we might as well prospect the ones we have. And I wonder if we have anything mining related that we can do. Kind of surprised it's not under miner. You'd think that's what we would be looking for here. Ah, a drill. Well, that makes sense. I have played Factorio before. I understand how it works. They're called drills. Okay, well, that one's titanium, so we can't do anything with that. And I think we have all of the mining speed, or is it called drilling speed? I think we've got all that, so there's not much we can really do. We can build the better machines. Anyway, that will create the projectiles. So we will have the projectile and the casing, and then two of them need to be combined together to turn them into a bullet. That could probably happen up here somewhere. For now, let's just do this, because it'll be symmetrical. And we only need the one machine. So this will make the bullet. And we'll need the cordite, which will go from there, and then we can have another one. Although looking at these speeds, probably going to need to have quite a few inserters. What is the speed of one of these? Yeah, definitely not fast enough, so we're going to need a red input there, and then probably... Oh, well, actually, one thing we can do is just send this like this, so we can have a red doing regular and a red doing near. And then the bullets will come out of there. So now that mining is done, let's get that scanning started, because it does take a while. And it's been a while. Oh, look at all that hazard concrete. And transport drones. Man, there's a lot of random stuff still sitting around the factory here. Well, hazard concrete can be placed where it belongs. Although I suppose I can ask bots to do it too. Well, that wasn't set right, so I guess it's good we came down here. Let's see, where did we put them? Well, there's certainly a lot of random stuff just sitting around. Well, a lot of this stuff is already being properly placed. But what we're here for is the prospectors. Because now we can upgrade them. But it requires Productivity Module 1. And since we don't carry those around with us, we'll just grab them from the proper machine here. And we can't because the inventory is full. Oh, that's interesting. It requires 2 of the base prospectors to turn into Prospector 2. Well, that's going to take a little while to build, but it'll get there eventually. Okay, let's work on this rubite patch. It is pretty small. And there might be one near the base here that we can probably scan too. I don't know how easy that would be to mine from, but we'll worry about that later. And we can just kind of put these wherever. Doesn't really matter. They're just there to scan everything. Then we can build some of the better drills too. And like most drills, they drill faster and create less pollution. So they're actually really good. And we'll let those scan for a while. Hopefully the cordite made it here. Yep, looks like it. It's kind of hard to see there in the darkness, but it's there. Alright. So we were doing the bullets, which come from the casing, the projectile, and the cordite. And then we just need to put them in magazines. So we can do 2 things right here. This one can make the magazine, which comes from a steel chopper. And then this one assembles everything into the final ammo magazine here. Let's see, if it's 2 out, then it's 2 in as well. Make sure these are all the correct types. It's kind of hard to tell. They look very similar to each other. Steel goes in there. It's injected into this guy, which is ejected into there. And I guess if it's done like this, we can just do some direct insertions right here as well. We don't need any of this going on. And with that, I think that's everything. We would have our output right here, and it would be 1 per second. And that would be that. And we might as well send the output down here as well. Probably going to run out of resources, but we need to send it to a supply depot. And we'll probably want, I don't know, like 10 drones worth here. That's quite a bit. Or 6,000. Because they are going to move kind of slow in the beginning as they fill everything up, so we probably want to have a fairly big number there. And here we go. That should be most everything. So let's try some of the components here. Let's make the bullets. I wonder if that inserter is going to be fast enough right there. Because it's going to have to pick up... Yeah. Both bullets... and the casings, so probably want to have 2 of them there. Alright. Let's make the casings. And then we need to make the bullets themselves. Okay. And then the magazines. And all of this should make 1 ammo a second. And looking at the numbers, only the actual machine making the ammo should be at 100%. It looks like everything else is going to be some fraction thereof. So it's fine, as long as the final machine is running at full power. Which it is. Then everything should be fine. We do want to automatically supply ourselves with ammo if necessary. Not sure where the best spot to do it is, but how about right here, where this can just make sure there is... How about 1,000? Just in case we're going to need it. That will slowly start picking everything up, but for this to work, this needs to be connected to our network. And it looks like it's fairly close. Actually, I think I'll just... that didn't work. I think I'll just put them in the middle here. And it is going to take quite some time for that ammo to build up. We can't exactly just slide it into our existing setup quite yet. Although we can kind of try. Kind of depends on what's going on here. It looks like we just ran out of ammo right there. But it very much seems like it's the bottom wall that's doing most of the shooting. So we can probably upgrade these top walls. Here come the bots. But they might not be able to make that gap. Yeah, they're kind of getting stuck halfway through. Well, there is some stuff we can do to help them. For one, we can connect this little bit right here. I notice this dropping off copper and iron there, which probably means that the places we chose weren't ideal because, yeah, they're just filling up and not getting used, so we probably should find a better spot for that. But we'll worry about that in a little bit. Let's grab this, and I don't know exactly where to put this. They did seem to kind of run out right around here. And hopefully that helps them clear that gap a little bit. Because we do want them to be able to come all the way out here. And probably should have more parking than that. So now we're slowly making ammo. Well, we can make a logistics request for it. Not sure how it works, if it automatically places it in your guns first before delivering it to you. It would be kind of annoying for it to take up a slot if we otherwise didn't need it. So for now, I won't bother with that. Let's just go to piercing rounds. And we want none of it. Oh, and it did take it out of our inventory. Well, that answers that question. So we do want it. And we want to have at least 400. Alright, all the robots charged there. It looks like they ran out of power before they got there, but we'll just have to play it by ear. Eventually we'll have enough of these all over the place to where they can get to where they need to go. Actually, probably should disable that for now, because we do kind of want to compare the two ammos. So we'll pick some up for now, and let's see how it works. Let's find some biters to shoot. Ah, well, there's not much there, but we'll just try the submachine gun. So it's pretty good, as is. So what would it do with our new ammo? Yeah, I'm all stuck with goo. Well, that definitely seems faster. I know it wasn't much of a test. But the ammo certainly lasts longer. See if we can find more of the turret biters. Don't want to do too much shooting and raise their evolution level, but oh yeah, it's pretty fast. Probably don't really need the sniper rifle anymore if the DPS is like this. And because it does so much damage, the faster shooting rate is still ideal. Oh my goodness, look at all of that. Not that it matters, because we can just go straight through it. So it's pretty good. So we're going to want to convert all of these lines to run on the new ammo. Is it worth picking up every last little bit of ammo? Probably not, because eventually as they shoot they will get to the new stuff. And it's not like they were lacking in power before. So what we can do is pick all this ammo up and say we want none of it, and then switch this over to the good stuff and put the 5 drones back in, and it'll eventually go through there. And actually, let's turn off logistics for now. Because this ammo is still good, in the sense that we're being shot at a lot, and it's actually going to take... Well, I mean, if we need thousands of ammo, and we're only making 1 per second, and especially if we're limited by sodium nitrate, which we're just about to be, it might actually take a few hours to produce a whole new set of ammo for the base, because there's thousands and thousands of it just sitting around in turrets and on belts. Like, there's a reason why it's only on one side of the belt, it's because there's just so much of it. So, because of that, we probably want to just kind of put this in here and feed the ammo to the part of the base that seems to need it the most, which is down here. And as each wall gets properly updated with the better ammo, we can keep expanding until finally it makes it down here. Wait a second. Is that a swimming biter nest? Yeah, it kind of is. Well, let's do some fighting by flying. As long as they don't hit us, we're fine. Because we don't really need this biter nest just sitting out here. So let's keep it nice and clean. Meanwhile, it has made a request right there. And there it is. Although, it's probably only going to be a partial request. Because we need a rider in here. So it only turns on... There's actually enough for a drone. Then we got a bunch of random stuff. The inventory to clean up. I think we kind of decided before. We don't necessarily need to have logistics for each random thing. But it would still be nice to have somewhere for resources to go if they're otherwise not needed. So if we have any cordite, we can just kind of do that, and we do need to expand the network more. And I suppose it's not the end of the world to have reasons to expand the bot network. Because they are nice. But we can set that to the cordite. And then if we've got extras in our inventory, we can just clean it out by sticking it in the trash. And the bots will put it to where it needs to go. So anytime we have something random in our inventory that doesn't go anywhere, that's kind of what we want to do. And ideally make it so it's direct inserted, so there isn't too much of an issue. Otherwise, the inventory looks reasonably clear. We're just gonna wait a long time for this to get stored up. I don't want to update the second wall because this one's going to want 5 stacks of it first. So really, we need to wait until this starts backing up a bit. And then we'll know that, oh yeah, we probably need to add another wall. Is everything else working okay down here? Yeah, mostly green. This isn't moving because it's caught up, and it happens in bursts because it's on a drone, so... That is to be expected, and that is making progress. We could just go down there later when it's filled up and put the rest of the miners in there. Otherwise, our new ammo looks like it's working pretty well. And that's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.